Hey there, crafty friends. It's Marie here again at Nicole Designs. I am sharing with you some of Spellbinders' new Slimline Dies. These dies cut out some really gorgeous designs that fit on your slimline cards. So here is one of these slimline dies. You get this cover plate with the design on it. There's also that little frame piece that cuts out a rectangle, and you get the little inserts for where you can put a sentiment. Now, I've already used one of these dies on a card, and I'm just giving you a glimpse here. I've cut that design a few times, layered it together, so you get a little bit of that gold peeking through the background. I'm going to be making another card today, and I just want to show you the basic process that I went through to make these slimline cards. So I'm taking my slimline dies here and I am taping them together. Now you can leave these separate, but I wanted to go ahead and cut out my whole design piece in one pass through my die cutting machine. So I'm cutting that outside frame, I'm taping that outside frame to my die, taping the inside piece that cuts out that insert to my die. And I'm going to leave the tape on here because I'm actually going to cut out this die several times. And that's going to guarantee that all of my dies that I cut out are going to be the same, and I can stack them on top of each other and layer them easily. I do want to layer a few of these dies together to give a little bit more dimension to my card. So taping your dies together is a great way to ensure that each piece is going to be the same and that they're going to line up when you stack and glue them later on. So these are very detailed dies. You might need to go through your die cutting machine a few times to make sure all the pieces cut out. If you have some pieces hanging on there, you can see like I did, I used my little pokey tool and kind of just poked out a few of those little pieces. And so I have 3 of these layers cut out. I'm going to go ahead and glue them together. I'm using some liquid glue here. I'm just going to go around the outsides and also add a few dots of glue here and there on the back of the design. If you had some of the flat adhesive sheets, you might be able to add those to the background and then die cut, and then you can just peel off that adhesive sheet and almost make a sticker with this. I have not tried that yet. I think it would cut fine in my die cutting machine, but like I said, I haven't tried it, so I don't know exactly how that would come out of that intricate die. So I've got my die all cut out. I'm going to work on the background. Since this is a very open design, your background's going to shine through. So you want to think about what you're going to put on the background. I'm just going to do some ink blending here, and I'm doing some really light rainbow ink blending. Now, a really great way to get a bright rainbow is by taking 3 colors. I like to take a pink, a yellow, and a light blue, and you just kind of go through those colors and blend them together. So I'm using my pink here, I'm blending it on at an angle, then I'll come in with my yellow. And I do want to make sure that my colors overlap a little bit because that's where you're going to start getting your rainbow. So when pink and yellow overlap, they're going to create that orange. And then when the yellow and blue overlap, you're going to get some of that green. And so you're going in rainbow color. It's going to look really great. Now, I do want to mention that with ink blending, you do have to work on it for a little bit. You want to go over it a few times, especially with a dye ink. It takes a few seconds or minutes for that dye to fully soak in and spread into the paper. So go ahead, put your colors on, and then I kind of edited it out of the video so it wouldn't be super long, but I did go back and put more color on each section. And this is what it looks like at the end. So when I put my little die piece on there, you're going to see all of those rainbow colors, but I wanted to kick it up just another notch and put some glitter on there. So I'm taking some of Nuvo's Moonstone Glimmer paste or glitter paste, I forget what they call it, and I'm just scooping out a big scoop with my spatula, and I'm putting it at the top or the side, whichever way you want to orient your card, and I'm just going to take it and scrape it down. Now, this wide scraper is great for this because it's going to make sure that all of your glitter is evenly spread onto your background. And I used a dye ink for the background here. I was wondering if it was going to kind of spread or smear or kind of get soaked into the glitter, and it didn't. So it stayed where I want it to go, and the glitter just dried on top. So I get a rainbow glitter background, and I couldn't be happier. I think it's so pretty. So I'm going to set that aside to dry. Make sure it's completely dry while I clean up my area. I'm just going to take my spatulas and my craft mat over to the sink, wash it with some warm soapy water, and it's going to be good to go. So I'm going to go ahead and glue on my die cut piece now. I'm putting some more glue on the back of these pieces that I stacked and glued together. I'm using liquid glue mainly because I can get into these small areas, and you have to remember I'm gluing over glitter now. So this like a tape runner adhesive might not stick as well to the glitter, but the glue can kind of soak into the cracks around the glitter and really give you a good hold. So that's why I'm using my liquid glue here. I'm going to just line it up with my background and glue it down. I do have to hold this down for just a minute or two for that glue to dry, so it can glue down and really get stuck to that paper. Like I mentioned, I'm gluing over glitter. It's a little bit more tricky when you do that, but just make sure you use your liquid glue and just hold it down while it dries, and you'll be fine. So my sentiment here is a few dies from Spellbinders. This one says thank you. Spellbinders has some great word dies. They've got some that say hello, thank you, happy day, different things. I'm using one that says thank you, and I cut it out of some black paper. I'm adding some foam adhesive as well as some liquid glue, because once I stacked and glued those 3 layers together from my die, my Slimline die, it gave a little bit dimension. So the foam adhesive is going to help these words pop up, so they're going to be the same height as my background, and they're going to just fit in there really well. I'm adding the liquid glue as well because some of these words are going to be overhanging, and I want them to be glued down in all areas. So foam and liquid glue together is going to give me a great sentiment. Now I love that this thank you fits inside this little area in the middle just perfectly. I just tweaked it a little bit, and I could get this whole sentiment right inside the center of my card. So that is pretty much the card. I'm going to go ahead and put some foam adhesive on the back of my card front. I'm going to try to cover all areas of my card so that I get even support over the whole slimline. And that's it. I think once I was done with this off camera, I may have added some white drops here and there on my background just to give some little dimension, but that's basically the card for the day. So if you liked this video, if you like to look at these Slimline dies, make sure you give this video a thumbs up, subscribe if you haven't already, comment, share, tap the bell for notifications so you don't miss another video from me, and I will see you guys next time. Have a great day, everyone. Bye.